Hi dear Leos, Happy New Year and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to talk about the transits for the year 2024. This year is a year of travel for you dear Leos because the North Node is going to be in your ninth house all year. Yep. And so when the North Node is in that area of your chart, it means the eclipses are also happening in that area of your chart. And yay, because eclipses bring changes, new beginnings. And now connect the two dots, the house of travel, ninth house, and new beginnings. So that means you might travel to a new place for the first time in 2024. Yes. For other Leos who are not really thinking about traveling or who cannot really afford that right now, this might be the time when like your worldview is altered. Like maybe you will get interested in some new kind of philosophy and now you look at the world differently. Like I sound crazy, you might be like, oh well, like I'm not into new age stuff, like I'm a pretty sane person. No, like I looked at my own transit when I had the ninth house eclipse. My way of thinking, my way of like looking at the world were transformed in those years. Like I remember back in like 2003, I had a ninth house eclipse, and that's when I started being interested in American music. Like I started listening to American songs. I was interested in American culture. Like I became obsessed with all of that stuff, celebrity culture, American culture, and that's ninth house activity, ninth house eclipse, because my worldview was changed. And then recently, I had eclipses in my ninth house, and again, like I was at the university at the time, and I learned so much that like my way of thinking was transformed. Yeah, so dear Leos, your way of thinking, like the way you look at the world, will be transformed. Not in a way like like people don't recognize you anymore. No, no, not like that. It's just you will come to a new understanding. Like maybe you will learn something that will make you look at the world differently. So yeah, uh, satiate your thirst for knowledge in 2024. Okay, so even if you don't go traveling physically, take your mind on a travel. Feed it like philosophical books, interesting books, because your mind this year is like a sponge. It's accepting all those things. Like it is, your mind is able to look at the big picture this year. I mean, you can do that, Leos. You naturally can do that, but this year it's like especially pronounced. So yeah, and for other Leos, I forgot to mention. So if it's not about traveling or personal philosophy, it might also be about the time when you either start going to college, university, or this is the time when you finish, graduate from college, or this is the time when you apply for grad school, when you decide to go back to grad school, or get that PhD that you dreamed about. So ninth house matters are very prominent for you this year. So ninth house, I said, higher education, travel, personal philosophy, and also immigration. So Leos, this will be the time, a lot of Leos, this will be the time when you apply for your passport or you renew your passport. Um, like a Leo friend of mine recently got her first passport. Um, what else? Those Leos who are thinking of immigrating or who are thinking of applying for an important visa, this is a year for you. Yeah, go ahead and do it because you got the blessings from the stars to do those. Yeah, so immigration matters, visa, uh, like even legal stuff. Legal matters are also ruled by Jupiter by ninth house. So if you are involved in some lawsuit, then it is likely that you will win the case. Okay, so good luck with that if you are involved. And so I spent the beginning of the video talking about the eclipses. Then let me mention those eclipse dates. So this year we have 4 eclipses. Three of them are going to be in Aries Libra axis, and one of them is going to be in Pisces. This year we have the first eclipse in Pisces in 18 years. So on March 25th, 2024, we have a lunar eclipse on the 5th degree of Libra. Dear Leos, that's your third house. Okay, so the sun will be in your ninth house, the moon will be in your third house. So, some culmination, illumination, clarity, achievement in your sibling's life. Yeah, like some major milestone in your sibling's life, because third house is your sibling. If it's not about siblings, then it's about your neighbors, something in your neighborhood. You might be like, well, that's random, but yeah, third house rules neighbors. Um, what else? It also rules our peers, classmates. So if you stay in touch with your classmates, you might find out something major going on in your classmates' life. What else? Siblings, communication, writing. Okay. Yeah, so it might indicate some completion of some writing project if you write for work and stuff. That's in late March. Next, 2 weeks after this lunar eclipse, we have a north node solar eclipse on the 19th degree of Aries. This one is a bit more exciting because this is happening in your ninth house. And this is in April. So those of you who applied for college late, this might be the time when you receive your acceptance letter. Or if you are graduating in the spring, so a month after this eclipse, around May 8th, you will have your graduation. Or for some, this might be the time when you go traveling. Yeah. And then on September 18th, we have the first lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 25th degree of Pisces. So, dear Leos, this is your 8th house. 8th house is the house of shared resources, the money that you owe to the bank. This is your partner's money. Yeah, like the house of loans. So, if you have a loan, you might pay it off around this time. Or if you don't have a loan right now, if you're thinking of applying for a loan, then like around September 18th, around September, your loan might get approved. Okay, because solar eclipses bring new energy. Oh wait, no, this is a lunar eclipse. Yeah, so maybe this will be the time when you kind of like realize that you do need a loan. Okay. Or finish paying it off. Because this is a lunar eclipse, I would say this would be great for finishing off paying a loan. Yeah, this would not be a good time to start a new loan, because for that you need like a new moon solar eclipse. Yeah, but anyway, on October 3rd, 2024, we have a solar eclipse in Libra. So again, dear Leos, your house of siblings, communication, transportation, neighbors, classmates, learning, and that house is triggered with a not lunar eclipse, solar eclipse. So something new, okay, or releasing karma in that area. I'm gonna make more detailed videos when we get closer to the eclipses. I'm trying to keep this video short. Next, so the second big thing this year, and for you Leos, probably the most important thing this year, is Pluto's entry into Aquarius. Yep, and we already got a preview of this transit back in spring 2023. It was like a trailer preview, but in 2024 it's gonna enter Aquarius for good. But it's gonna be back and forth a little bit before that. So it's gonna enter Aquarius on January 20th until September 1st. On September 1st, due to retrograde motion, it's gonna slip back into Capricorn, but not for too long. This is gonna be the last time in Capricorn. And on November 19th, Pluto is gonna enter Aquarius until January 18th, 2044. Excuse me. Can you imagine 20 years of Pluto in your house of relationships? Dear Leos, that's a long time. But now, let me give you some good news. The good thing about Pluto is that you can feel its presence only when it's making an exact aspect to your planets in Leo. Yeah. So let's say your sun is in the 27th degree of Leo, and you don't have anything else before that in Leo. So that means Pluto is not going to bother you until it reaches that 27th degree of Leo. Yeah, so like 18 years from now, okay? But if you have planets in the early degrees of Leo, then I don't know, I guess congrats, because you will be done with all the Pluto lessons sooner than other Leos. Yeah, it should be good. Pluto transits are not always bad. Like Pluto is about empowerment, and it's in your relationship house. So that means your partner might feel empowered. Your partner is going to go through transformations, even if your partner is not an Aquarius. It doesn't have to be. I mean, they don't have to be. So it's just the Pluto brings that transformative energy into your relationships. So yes, your partner is going to experience major changes in their lives, perhaps even empowerment. Yeah, they're going to let go of a lot of old things, and because you are in a relationship with them, you are also going to be affected. So you are going to be helping your partner get rid of all the old unnecessary baggage, I guess, and feeling empowered together with your partner. Yep. And so the thing is, when Pluto enters Aquarius, it's gonna be leaving an earth element sign and entering an air element sign. And this is so good because the energy is gonna feel much lighter now. Imagine the soil, earth. It's heavy, right? Have you ever tried lifting like a bucket of soil? That stuff is heavy. And then, like, imagine air. Air is weightless. It's very light. And so that's how it's going to feel. Right now we are like buried under the tons of like earthy energy. We have Jupiter in Taurus, earth sign, Uranus in Taurus, earth sign, Pluto in Capricorn, earth sign. Really heavy energies. That's why we're like, we can see material worries right now in the world. People fighting over land, literally. You cannot make this up. People fighting over land in the Middle East. That's earth energy. But thankfully in 2024, Pluto is going to leave earth element and enter air element. So we can finally breathe. It's going to feel like a breath of fresh air. Yeah. We will be able to finally detach ourselves from all the earthy worries, because air elements are very detached. They can think objectively. So, and that's what we're going to do on a collective level, because Pluto rules the collective. It's the generational planet. So collectively we're going to be able to start thinking analytically, scientifically, objectively. Yeah, so like a lot more detached thinking, instead of like being emotionally involved in, pessimistically involved in like earthy matters. We're finally going to be able to detach, and that's good. And another good news is that Jupiter will also be doing the same. Jupiter will be leaving Taurus, an earth sign, and enter Gemini, which is an air sign, and that's great. So we have these two planets, and the cherry on top is that they're going to be making a good aspect, trine aspect. So when Jupiter enters Gemini, as soon as it enters Gemini, it's going to be making a trine aspect to Pluto in Aquarius. That's great. I'm really excited about 2024 because we will see this on collective level. Okay, the expansive energy of Jupiter, and then Pluto, like all that new energy. So Pluto in Aquarius is going to bring a lot of transformations to technology. AI is going to be like much more prominent. Lots of new gadgets. Internet is going to go through a lot of reformations. Yeah, I feel like there's going to be either more control or more regulation in internet stuff. Time will show. But generally, it should be a positive transit. Yeah. And what else? So I talked about Pluto and Jupiter. Let's talk about Jupiter now. Jupiter is currently in Taurus, and dear Leos, that means it's in your 10th house. And it's going to be in your 10th house like pretty much the first half of 2024, which is good. And so Jupiter will be expanding your career, giving you career opportunities. If you work with customers, it's going to be giving you lots of customers, which is great. And also you have Jupiter in your, and not Jupiter, Uranus in your 10th house. And the best thing is, in late April, Jupiter and Uranus are going to be conjunct in your 10th house, in Taurus. And this is great because it can give like sudden windfalls, sudden luck, sudden opportunities, sudden, I don't know, like something big. Uranus is always surprises, and Jupiter is big. It doesn't do small things. And Jupiter is like the Santa, it gives blessings. And so when you combine these two, it's like a big surprise. Yeah, that kind of energy. And so, dear Leos, you have that coming up for you in April. And so, Jupiter in Gemini, it will make that positive trine aspect to Aquarius, Pluto, but it will also be making one aspect that's gonna feel like I don't know, a scratch on the record, and that is Jupiter square Saturn. Yep. Now imagine Jupiter marching in Gemini happily, and then Saturn is like throws an obstacle on Jupiter's path. Why? Because it can. Yeah. Because Saturn is basically kind of like jealous. Like, why is Jupiter so happy and carefree? Let me give you some of my burden. Work on it. Yeah. So, Saturn is gonna make you slow down. It's gonna feel like a roadblock on the way. So, don't lose patience. Try to look at it in a way like a disguised blessing. So that slowing down is gonna make you find out some things that will benefit you in the long run. Things that you could have missed if you just passed them by. Yeah, so it's not always bad. It's just I like hating on Saturn, but I shouldn't. Saturn sometimes is good. My Saturn return was actually really, really good. So, yeah. So who knows? Maybe this aspect to Saturn is gonna be something good, even though it's a square aspect. But anyway, let's stay optimistic. This year we don't really have Venus retrograde, which is good because our finances and love will not be touched. Yeah, everything is peaceful in that area. But we do have Mars retrograde. But thankfully, at the very end of 2024, it's gonna start retrograding on December 6th, 2024. It's gonna start retrograding in your sign, by the way, in Leo, in like the early signs of early degrees of Leo, and it's gonna slip back into Cancer. Yeah, so dear Leos, you guys have a Mars retrograde coming up in your sign. What else? So I think I mentioned all the important things. I don't think I mentioned Mercury retrogrades. So this year Mercury retrogrades are gonna be in fire signs. The thing about Mercury retrograde is that it tends to happen in a certain element each year. For example, in 2023 it was in earth signs, but now in 2024 it's going to be in fire signs. So Leos in your sign and your fellow fire signs. So we're going to get the first Mercury retrograde in Aries in April, like from April 1st until April 25th. But if you include all the shadow zone period, you can mark off the entire April as Mercury retrograde month. Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't do anything in April. It's just I will provide more details later as we come closer to that transit. Next, the second Mercury retrograde is gonna start in Virgo, but it's gonna end in Leo. It's gonna be from August 4th until August 28th. Again, I would mark off the entire August as Mercury retrograde month. Next, the last Mercury retrograde of 2024 is going to be in Sagittarius from November 25th until mid-December. Yep. So this is it for 2024, dear Leos. As I said, this year is mostly for traveling and expanding your mind. Okay, and also your partner is going to be empowered this year because Pluto is going to enter your relationship house. So I hope you guys enjoy these transits, dear Leos. You guys are done with the Pluto in your sixth house, so your health will not be like in bad shape anymore. Okay, so and that's good, dear Leos. Uh, I wish you guys a wonderful 2024. Thank you for watching this video, and if you did, please subscribe. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next video.